What's up, dudes? I think we're live. Tuesday Night Live, number 9. If you can believe that. We've been at this a minute. So, as this thing's spooling and doing its thing, I just wanted to say how awesome this group is. And that information dissemination has proven itself now over and over again. And we've got a dude in here that feeling pretty lethargic and reverted back to something he heard in one of the videos and said if you're starting to get of age, 35 plus, 40 plus, and you're not feeling quite like you think you should, or sluggish or tired, or it's explainable or unexplainable, like, go get your hormones checked and get your blood checked, get your blood work done, get your hormones checked. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It happens. There's a degradation over time. We don't have to let it be like a cliff and have a steep drop off, but um, yeah, there's things to do about it. So I've had significantly good luck, and haven't went to the TRT route. Nothing illegal. Not I don't want to say that because that stuff's legal. I haven't went to anything injectable or some, anything like that. But it's real, and our hormone levels is who we are, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So it's a beautiful segue. But big up, man, big up, dude, for a paying attention to yourself, but b being a part of this group and having a thing like, oh my god, why don't I just go do this and check this out and see what happens? So pretty awesome. I'm stoked for it. So dudes, if you are less than excited about life or just absolutely in the dumps, man, like there's a lot of things that we've been talking about in this group, and I've been down every road myself, and I don't want to say anything bad, but there's no excuse to not be your best self. And so I hope this group is inspiring. I know there's a handful of us that really, really, really do enjoy this and learn from it, but some are just watching, they're not participating yet. So, sliced almonds. Got to keep the fuel going. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We've hammered this topic at different levels um, over the course of a couple years, but I think I've got a better angle tonight that I can kind of lock in and say like macros the easy way or something. So um, I don't know if anybody's in here. Oh my gosh! Sorry. Quit it. Sorry about that. Um, Let me see if we got anybody in here. God, that's loud. I want to punch my dogs in the fucking side of the head right now. But anyway, I won't. But I want to. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we got anybody rocking in here yet or not. But I'm gonna get after it. So I took some notes for today, so hopefully I can be a little bit more organized for this evening. So macros. When I first started hearing about it, it drove me mad. It drove me crazy. It really, actually, not like mad, like a mad scientist, like it made me mad. And none of it made sense. I hear people talking about it, and they were doing, they were, if nothing else, they were role models at that stage in time, right? They looked, talked, sounded. They were dudes like I wanted to be like. I'm not afraid to say that. Like, I didn't want to emulate them necessarily. I didn't know who they are. Still don't. But the point is that men that understand and care, they talk about macros. And so, what are macros? Well, I mean, just what is it? We have to understand food does three things in the body, right? We have protein that builds muscle and repairs. It's a huge repair center. We have carbs, carbohydrates that are our fuel, and we have fat that affects our hormones and kind of our long-lasting energy. So, if you take nothing else from tonight, hear this and move on. Protein builds you, carbs fuel you, fat balances you. So I want to do just a little pre-talk about guys that are doing keto or carnivore or right, and we learn about this stuff, and some of this stuff sticks, some of it doesn't. Some people, you see records of people doing this stuff for a long time, and they're having great efforts. What we notice, or what we can know up front is like when we change our diet and we cut out carbs, we're going to we're going to we're going to lose circumference. We're not going to be as girthy. And what does that really mean? It means a lot of different things. But what's happening is you're burning because you're not intaking sugars or carbs. You're not burning what's inside of you. And so, to a certain degree, under medical supervision, right, doing it the right way, doing some of this stuff is fine for a short period. But what happens is if we got to make sure that we're getting the nutrients that we need. And so, some of the uh, carnivore stuff, you're getting all your proteins and all your fats for sure, but it's the carbs. The carbs is the fuel. So once you burn all your carbs off of you, then what are you using for fuel? So be mindful. We have a lot of things that we can consume to get proteins, fats, and carbs that are healthy and very unhealthy for us. So just know the body needs protein, fats, and carbs. Protein builds the muscle, and it's our repair hub. It's our repair garage. The protein stockpile and good rest is how we repair ourselves. You eat protein and go to the gym and flex. That doesn't correlate. Protein is an after the fact thing. So remember protein. Eat it at every meal. Eat protein at every meal. Every time you eat protein. Fair? Protein is your construction material. It's your foundation. It's your building blocks. We can get way deep into this stuff, but and we still have some questions. So we're going to stick right on this basic level. And even some of the guys using the apps, maybe they're plugging the stuff in, but they don't necessarily know what the what's are. Um, any questions on proteins? Steak, chicken, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt. Remember, you can kind of skew from what your common knowledge base says, and Greek yogurt's a great way to go. You get a little sweet tooth, and sometimes it's a little easier on the tummy depending on what you got happening. So we're going to move on to carbs. So this is protein, fats, carbs. That's our macros. Carbs are our fuel, right? Do you want to be a Ferrari, or do you want to be like an old Volkswagen Bug, or like a little Yugo or something, right? It's our gasoline. It's our nitromethane. What we put in our body, our fuel source, is crucial in how we feel. And I'm going to revert back. Um, I love this dude. I've known this dude a long time, and we're going to get to know each other better. But dude posted in the group that he ate a local Chinese buffet and felt super lethargic, for a certain amount of time afterwards. And a lot of people from the town said, "Yo, for sure." And my first two theories were MSGs, which is monosodium glutamate. I probably messed that up, but anyways, the stuff that makes you feel full. And then my second thought, and I didn't type it because I got hung up on the MSGs, was liquid smoke. And then some other people said liquid smoke because those two things, man, they'll wreck a gut. So they'll fill you up, but they will wreck you, and they'll make it taste good, but they'll wreck you. So um, recognizing source, we've got to recognize source of this food. We've been talking about no fast food, no gas stations, only in an absolute not emergency. Because if it's an emergency, you're not at a fast food station or fast food restaurant. Um, but in like an absolute pinch, but like packing a lunch is cheaper. If you're going on a trip, road tripping, absolutely pack a lunch. And so we can incorporate stopping to eat it, getting some movement, getting some outside time. It all goes together, guys. But let's stay on track here. Carbs, that's our fuel. And so, um, another real time learning an analogy is if we look back, and I did the bodybuilding thing, I did protein, fats, and carbs, but I was heavy on the protein. Where now I'm shifting to this gravel bicycle riding, endurance riding. Let me tell you, we'll talk about it some more, but don't underfuel. And carbs That's our fuel. That's our gasoline, and I want the best gasoline I can get. So, um, rice, potatoes, orange potatoes. Some call them sweet potatoes. Fruit, we're going to stick with the berries. If we're carbon up, bananas are fine. But if we eat a bunch of carbs and we don't move, that's how we get fat. But it's just swollen. Anyway, rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, fruits. We're going to say berries and bananas, mostly berries, oats and bread. And so there we go. Source oats. Let's understand there's good quality steel cut organic oats, and then there's you know the Quaker fella, and who knows what's really in that stuff. So understanding the source, organic we talked about briefly, but the bread's another huge thing. White Wonder Bread it's just poison, guys. Sorry. So this is where nutrient, not nutrient. This is where the quality of our ingredients and then the nutrient density that becomes our fuel comes from. Fuel becomes energy in our cells. That's mitochondria, and so I went and I haven't bought tons of carbs in a long time just because I haven't really needed them. But now it's a whole different thing. And so Dave's Killer Bread at Walmart, it's all organic, it's good stuff. They've got thin slice, thick slice, all the different colors, all the different things. They got bagels and all of it, right? And so at least you know that that source that you're putting in is as good as you can buy, right? It's as good as we can know. So understand carbs power your workouts. Carbs power your work day, right? So if we're going to eat protein, fats, and carbs at every meal, we have that little snack in the day. A good healthy carb is going to give us that energy bump, and we don't got to keep sipping coffee, drinking Red Bulls. You can create your super fuel and have as much energy or more in an excess in a day, and then that's when we can talk about all the other things Dude Resets about. So, guys, understand, connect the dots. It's time to start playing the game. So, carbs power us, they power our day. Um, Rice cakes, if we're going to be look at some of the sources, so if we're having rice and potatoes, we don't want greasy potato chips, but rice cakes, and so fruit, dried fruit, some of it's just caked in sugar. So just be mindful, pay attention to the ingredients, and I still think I'm going to go over a food label in here because some of us don't even know what to look for when I'm talking about this stuff. So if you don't have any carbs, you don't have any gas in the tank, and understand that. And I'm not speaking to the guys that are doing any special diets. This isn't for you right now. But if you guys get where your diet doesn't work anymore and you've cut the carbs out, start to analyze. So let's get to the next one. Protein, carbs, we have fat. Fats balance our hormones and give us that long, sustained energy. Sources, eggs, avocados, nuts. The nuts, try not to get the sweet ones or the crazy salted ones, but also it's okay. Olive oil, we're going to talk about olive oil real quick now and talk about it more later, but we know we want organic, and there's olive oil, and then you always see extra virgin olive oil. I didn't know till recently, but I'm always a student of life, always learning. So extra virgin olive oil, think of that as cold. That always stays cold. Salad dressings, sandwich toppings, that thing. If you're going to cook with it, just get olive oil. And so still get it organic, still get a good source, but understand there's actually different kinds. Who knows what's really happening in the extra when you heat it? You're breaking it down to some degree, but whatever. Little food for thought. So that's some good sources of fat. And fat keeps the engine running. So it's kind of like the oil. It's kind of the lubricant. It keeps our joints right, balances the hormones, keeps our brain juice, spine fluid. I mean, that all comes in and from that. And so think about it. Your hormones and your joints is what it stays healthy from the fats. Uh, so we've talked about this stuff in the past, and we've gotten real broken down into grams and all the things, right? So we're not going to do that tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about protein, fats, and carbs that are our macros, and then how do we eat them if we need to eat them at every meal. Okay, take notes. Protein, 1 to 2 palmfuls. So if you're 5'2" and you weigh 120 pounds, your palm's a certain size. If you're 6'5" and you weigh 300 pounds, your palm's a certain size. So protein every meal, 2 palm sizes, right? Nothing crazy. It doesn't have to be real super crazy tall. This is we're dumbing it down right now, but I like to keep things simple. KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay, so protein, we're going to go 1 to 2 palms worth a meal. The carbs, 1 to 2 cupped hands. That's a lot, right? So think about that. 1 to 2 cupped hands is your carbs. So that's your potatoes, that's your rice, that's your fruit, bread. So if you start adding and you're having bread and rice and fruit or whatever the combo, just think about that appropriate or close serving size of 1 to 2 cupped hands. All right. So then we're going to go to the fat. This is where it's going to get tricky and it's going to mess a lot of people up, and we're going to realize how much we overuse the yummy stuff. But fat, we're going to do about a thumb's worth, right? So just a little dollop will do you, so to speak. But every meal, like every meal you want protein, every meal you want carbs, every meal you want fat. Protein, 1 to 2 palms. Carbs, 1 to 2 cupped hands. Fat's about a thumb's worth, all right? So like a steak and a baked potato with some butter, right? And so think about it, real, real, real simple. Um, that's a lot, real fast, but it's pretty simple, real quick. So um, if I see any comments or anybody chiming in, we'll have a little powwow. But if not, I got some things I need to do tonight. And so I'll just let this one ride and we'll put it onto YouTube and link it because this is good and basic. So protein, fats, and carbs, that's the only thing we need to worry about. Because if you're trying to lose weight and you're worried about counting calories or being in a deficit, but we can't do this consistently, that won't matter. So if you do this really good, but then you have 6 cheats in a day and you have 4 sodas and 2 candy bars, 2 bags of popcorn, like you've gotta put that into the account. So the first thing, even before maybe you jump into the macros, and maybe you're already here and that's why we're having this conversation, but if you're not there yet, start keeping track of what you put into your mouth in a day. And it'll scare you. It scares me, dude. I eat so much. That's why I gotta work out so freaking hard. Because I either didn't eat and I was a little skinny and I was a little hippie dude, but then I was like, I'm tired of feeling like a little bee, so I gotta get some muscles. And so then I started eating, and I can't stop. So I work out really hard. But I'm starting to balance that right now, and things are getting good. So um, get your blood work done. Get your hormones checked. If you can't quit drinking, and you want to, and you're trying, reach out. We'll get you some help. Not a big deal. A lot of us have been there. Nicotine, try to get that curbed quick. Um, if anything, get to the nicotine pouches. That way you're not smoking or doing the dip with all the shit in the dip, and all the shit in the cigarettes. So um, weaning off of it's the best, but let's be real. We gotta be real. And then up your water intake. Spring water, if you don't have spring water and you're using tap water and you're preparing, fill up some jugs, leave the lids off, let it off gas in a day, not multiple days. Or if you're using purified water, definitely you want to add lemon and salt and pink Himalayan salt or sea salt, a little iodine in it. Let's see. And if you are exercising and you're like, man, I'm dehydrated or I'm getting behind or I don't know what to do, like make your own homemade Gatorade. So same thing, lemon, salt, and then you can do just a true pinch of sugar, or you can do some honey. And I found the honey has a funkier taste to it, but it obviously is going to sustain longer. But yeah, put that together, shake that up, and that's a homemade Gatorade, and you're going to save thousands of dollars a year in buying sports drinks or hydration packs or whatever. If you're competing, obviously to have some race day stuff and have your body used to it. But beyond that, guys, if you're training really, really hard and you're running out of energy, or you're running out of energy at the end of the work day and you don't have enough to go to the gym, whatever the case is, right? Let's work on these macros and get it into balance. And so whether you're 200 pounds or 150 pounds or 250 pounds, right? 300 pounds, whatever. Start with the sizes, because if you're a big boy, your palm's still going to be appropriate size. So just get some portion control, get some tracking. The tracking's the biggest thing. If you can't be accountable for yourself, nobody else is going to be. So um, start there, and we'll we'll move on. I'm gonna check and do little things right here. Oh, we got a couple people in here. See, I can't see none of this stuff. So if you're in here watching, cool. Michael, I was gonna reach out to you to do this chat, and I thought, I need to do this chat. So thanks for the motivation, my friend. Thanks for all the knowledge. And I did. I took what you have taught and what I have learned, and I just put it together and just said, all right, we gotta. I don't want to quit having the macro talk, but I want to build off of it versus regressing off of it. So, proteins, fats, carbs, dudes. That's it. Protein every meal. You got Ugh. I wish we could understand it, right? Um, yeah. So there's been some dudes that posted in here with some apps that you guys can check out. See what some of those fit. I don't have a lot of bandwidth for doing a lot of things so. I kind of just need to know it, make it part of my routine, keep on moving. So if you're one of those record keeper Excel sheet guys, like this is your world, and you can make it easy because if you break it down to the science, it's definitely science. All right. Well, I don't see any comments, so I'm gonna jump off here because I got some stuff to do with my wife this evening, and well, she takes precedence. Dudes, love you guys. Proteins, fats, and carbs. Protein, 1 to 2 palms a meal. Carbs, 1 to 2 palmfuls a meal. Fats, just a little thumb's worth, guys. And if you're training hard, fuel up. If you're trying to lose, you got to backtrack. So if we want to get into those conversations, we'll get there. And Dustin put together the ride for the Friday the 13th this weekend. That's awesome, guys. That is Dude Reset doing Dude Reset. So if you're waiting on me to do something, you're going to get left behind. So feel free to do anything you want to do and get dudes involved in a active and healthy way. And we're all going to support you and what it's about. And one more thing, I talked to another dude today, and I'm going to let him tell his story. But your guys' weight loss journeys, fascinating. Excellent job. Keep going. Do the hard work. Do it when nobody's watching. And like I've said sometimes these plans, they don't need to be 6 weeks or 6 months, guys. Some of this stuff's going to take us a year or two. It takes us 40 years to get where we're at. It's going to take us a few years to unwind it. So you guys motivate me, man. When we'll talk about some of this bicycle stuff soon. And I don't see any comments. I don't see any current viewers, but you never know. So if you guys are watching, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and we'll comment on the video. And if you guys watch this video later, let's keep the discussion going. But I'm gonna jam. I said I'll give it a half hour, and if it's spooling, we'll rock, and if not, I'm out. So with that, be good. If you can't be good at it. So proteins, fats, and carbs, pretty simple.